Hi, this is Joni, holistic health teacher, coach, and consultant. Today we're talking about how creating space in the body creates space in the mind. My intention here is to bring you digestible snippets of holistic habits to improve your health and well-being. We need your clear mind, healthy body, open heart, and bright eyes now more than ever. If you're just beginning on this journey toward adding more movement and exercise into your life, circle back to the introductory video linked below, and I'll add more to come. Now, there are a zillion different fitness people out there telling you the quote-unquote best way to exercise and when. Everyone has an opinion, but I'm telling you right now that you have to find something that you like and that feels good to you to stick with it, especially when you're first starting out. At this time, I'm going to encourage you to be open, try different things, try different teachers, and notice how you feel afterward and in the following days afterward in both your body and your mind. But in today's share, I'm anxious to expand a bit for those who aren't brand new to this journey. And given I live in a ski town in the wintertime, which we're in right now, I'm constantly surrounded by pretty alpha personalities who are all about being the best at what they do in the mountains, which is awesome. But heads up, hard chargers, this one might be for you. You might want to try to be a little bit more open to trying something else. Today, we're talking about creating space in the body and how that lends to creating space in our minds. When we're running, hiking, and biking, or even lifting weights, or say checking into a fitness class, these are superb for straight up exercise. But they're also very linear activities that create other issues in the long term. Or that can create other issues in the long term, I should say. Let's take tight hips, for example, as they can lend to a host of other issues, both physical and otherwise. We could also pinpoint the breath, huge topic. When we're running or running in the mountains, especially running up mountains like people do here, we're mostly breathing into the top part of the lungs, just more of a shallow breath, versus breathing deep into the belly. I'll get to why this is important in a sec. In other practices, such as yoga, while they can sometimes lean quite precise and linear, much like these sports, in a well-educated yoga practice, we are strengthening, stretching, and creating space. Part of this is because of the movements, and part of this is because of the way the breath is taught. Again, that's when it's taught and when it's taught well. Finding more dance-like movements, opening the hips, lends to tapping into our right brain, which is where creativity and intuition are born. Breathing deep into the base of the belly intentionally resets the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing us to rest, relax, and become more at ease in life. This one example, yoga, is an embodied practice. When we create space in our bodies, we can literally breathe better and think better. I've spoken a lot on embodied cognition in the past, and we'll come back to that in another post, as that topic could take several posts. But for today, let's put our mind's eye on creating space. So first off, creating space. Forgive me if I'm being repetitive. These videos are all pretty off the cuff and unedited. But creating space first includes carving out time to sit still and begin to notice and pay attention to ourselves. I'll link my video Sitting Still in the description below, or perhaps end cap it at the end of this video pop up. My work as a yoga teacher and holistic health coach deeply incorporates the mind-body connection. So while meditation can be a tough place for many people to start, we can also find other modalities that might eventually lead to the ability to sit still, such as yoga, qigong, or tai chi. The reason I mention these strong but more subtle options compared to running or hard charging on the mountain bike or any of the more aggressive sports is because while they can create strong bodies, and we certainly grow strong aerobically, the suppleness and space they create in the body is what's key with these other practices. I was totally this person, a very strong, hard-charging athlete, competitive gymnast growing up. I also practiced yoga for many years while doing these other sports simultaneously before adding the practice sitting still in meditation. It can take time, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people begin with the moving meditations if we're more naturally active people. More sedentary people simply have work to do in the opposite direction. It's often easier for my clients who have trouble with exercise. They have a much easier time, it seems, not always, but sometimes they have an easier time starting with a seated meditation. Their work is actually to get up and move more, right? So we're all working in different areas. When we create space in the body, we're also literally creating space in our minds. Certain muscle groups, when they're tense, are sometimes holding on to specific emotions. It's well known that a yoga class, when taught properly, and the teacher eventually guides us into hip openers toward the end of class, the deeper hip openers, that is, people will just start crying with no idea why. It's a release. This happened almost daily in my Los Angeles classes, where our mats were 1 or 2 inches apart, and we could, literally see and hear what was going on with our neighbors. This is just a release of old stuff, old emotions that are caught up in the body. They literally get trapped in our bodies. Emotions or traumas, both big and small. Sometimes we know exactly what it is, and sometimes something arises that we've unknowingly been holding on to for years, decades. So that might resonate with some of you. Sometimes we have no idea that we're holding on to anything at all, but the body doesn't lie. Tight hips, this is just one example, but they could be a small clue to what else is going on with you. The body aches, maybe in the same places. My flare-ups are always generally in the same places, but you might also experience something like severe neck pain out of nowhere. Mysterious? Sometimes yes, sometimes it turns out not at all. My personal experiences led me to working and healing issues that no doctor or chiropractor or physical therapist could pinpoint. I had to go way outside of the box in working with an energetic healer of sorts and found so much more than I ever imagined. At this point, I've worked through most of it, but during times of stress, it can rear its ugly head. So just try to put a little extra attention on your body. It really is speaking to you. It really wants to work with you, and it really wants to heal itself. Like, our bodies really do heal themselves. Sometimes we just have to give them a little extra love too. So your body is really working hard for you. So that's really important too, to give it some thanks. I'll also link an old blog post below about listening to your body, where I share a bit more of one of my stories within this realm. These experiences are all part of what led me to this work today. In the meantime, take some time to start with some simple stretches, breathing deep into the base of the belly, expanding on all 4 sides of the torso and the hips, and gently exhaling. Gently being the key word. It's important to find great teachers, which I fully understand can be a task too. But consider making some space in the body, trying something new. It's pretty incredible what you'll end up receiving. If you'd like to schedule with me to look at your whole health and determine where to start or where to drill down further to perform better, especially during these unusual times, please contact me via my website below. I'm also now on Library TV. This is just another channel where we can share our work. It's essentially doing to publishing what Bitcoin did to money. It's just an open, free, and fair network for digital content. So that's lbry.tv. Given we're moving into a totally new paradigm with all of our major systems, potentially being disrupted or disrupted even more, we'll see what this year holds. We just want to be where we can step further into our sovereignty and support others doing the same. So I've chosen Library as a backup, and it may just end up becoming my main location. We'll see. I've just started with all of this, so thank you for bearing with me and my unedited videos. More to be determined for all of us, right? So thanks for taking a moment to check it out. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to this channel so that more people can find ways to feel better today. Thank you for being here, and be well.